Welcome back, ODHtv, Power Book 3, Season 4, Episode 9 coming up tonight. And I just want to go over some of these so-called exclusive leaked photos that came out and throw a few of my final thoughts at it before tonight's episode. And if you have your own theories or opinions about these photos, let me know in the comments. Let's try to figure this out together. So let's start with this one right here. We know this guy's name is E-Tone. We know that's Lamar Jackson, NFL player. We know he's only going to be in one episode, maybe two. I think just one from his description, and he's described as somebody that's dangerous. But who is this guy? Is he a family member of OC? I mean, he's got his hand on his pistol and he's talking to Unique. Unique always looks unbothered. And how did this dude get into the tailor shop? Did Akbar let him in? Is Akbar introducing this guy? It doesn't make sense because the guy still has his hand on his weapon. And does anybody think that Akbar's character is kind of corny? Just going way out of his way to seem like a boss or just trying to be too tough. Either way, maybe that's just me. But there's so little info or reference from the story about this guy. There's really not much to speculate on. The only thing we do know for a fact is that he will be trying to take somebody out.
Nothing ever works out for us, Joe.
Now this picture, there's a lot of ways this scene can go. But he's obviously in the room with Jukebox trying to figure out what's going on. He's on the phone talking with somebody. He's pretty angry. Jukebox is in the foreground here, ear hustling, trying to figure out what he's talking about. And if I had to venture a guess, I would think that Kanan is on the phone with one of Crystal's family members to try to find out where she is. And whoever he's talking to, he may even ask, well, where's the stepfather at? Maybe I need to talk to him. And maybe somebody gives him a line to his job, and maybe that might be the person that's wearing the janitor uniform that Kanan is beating up. And that guy's name is Purcell Thomas. I don't think he's a relation to the Thomas family, but you never know because they're not even throwing us curveballs anymore. They're throwing us knuckleballs. So then maybe, just maybe, after he gets off the phone, he says Rock has something to do with this. She says no, and that's when this comes up.
Ain't with me, you against.
So maybe Kanan and Jukebox get into it for a few minutes, but I don't think that's going to last too long. But either way, I still think Crystal is donezo. Hasta la pasta to this lady. She's gone. But after this, Jukebox could have had enough, and maybe this leads to this next scene. But this picture here reveals that we're finally going to get a conversation between Rock and Kanan. I mean, I always say most of the problems in the Power universe can be solved with a conversation. And they do this a lot where nobody talks to each other, so everybody leads with their emotions and assumptions. Hopefully, Kanan is not as deranged as I think he is, and maybe this conversation will prove to him that Rock was not involved with Famous's death, OC's disappearance, or Crystal's disappearance. But I am curious to know how Rock knew that Jukebox and Kanan were going to be there. Did Jukebox call Rock and say, listen, you need to come down to the diner, I'm meeting with Kanan later, and you need to clear the air? And this is the part of the episode description where Jukebox revisits her past. So Aisha is in town, maybe she's on some type of break, probably home to see her parents, and decided to meet up with Jukebox. So I don't know if this is before or after dinner, but they run into this dude, Detective Garcia. Jukebox looks like, come on man, really? You again? I can't even venture a guess what this conversation is about between Lou and Rock. I'll let you guys in the comments tell me what this is about. In this next picture, we have Rock having a meeting with Stefano, and we know Stefano tries to tell Rock that Marvin tried to backdoor her and move her out the way and talk to him about replacing her, which we know was a lie. We know it was the opposite. We know Stefano approached Marvin about replacing Rock, and Marvin was like, no, I'm not having it and don't ever talk about this again. So as far as we know from the episode, Marvin didn't tell Rock that Stefano was planning on trying to move her out of the way. But maybe did he tell her off screen? You know, they like to do things like that sometimes. But this is the stupidness because this is what I mean by having conversations. A conversation will stop all that. But the fact that on screen, Marvin did tell Rock that they need to take out Stefano, maybe Rock will not believe what Stefano was telling her at this meeting. So this scene between Kanan and Unique can go so many different ways, it's ridiculous. I'm wondering if this scene comes before the scene in the diner with Rock, Kanan, and Jukebox. And like I said, I believe that they might clear some things up in that diner. So if this scene comes after that, then there's not much manipulating that Unique can do. But if this scene came before that scene in the diner, then there's a lot of things Unique can say to try to manipulate Kanan. So maybe they go into a private room and start talking, and if they do, and just like a guilty pleasure of mine, I need Kanan to start complaining about Rock and telling Unique what he thinks she did. Remember this scene?
What did they say he did?
Whatever they saying he did that shit.
So just to satisfy my brain, I need Unique to say, yo, whatever you think she did that shit. I am not saying that's gonna happen, but I just need that just for me because that's hilarious to me. But I'm going to stop here. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, your theories or predictions. I'm curious to hear what you think about what's going to happen tonight. I'll be back in the next one, which will be later tonight.
Player to player, I mean. Games that you playing, I seen. The chance that I'm taking, I mean. These things that I'm saying, I'm sorry. I don't even know what I really need. I don't even know if you're feeling me.